Attention, please.
And now, it's Cutter's Rockcast.
Hey.
Yo.
How you doing?
Good, man. What, I catch you in the middle of a hike or something? You got the backpack on, ready to
Oh,
go?
I should probably take this off. No, we're flying right now. Yeah, I was like, I got a little window. We checked in like 30 minutes ago and we board in 30. So,
All right, well, we'll take up the 30 minutes and kill your time at the airport.
yeah, I mean, I'm not doing anything else. I'd just be sitting in the lounge munching. So,
There you go. Dave from We Came as Romans joining us this week. Dude, it's good to see you.
good to see you too, man.
I'm so happy for you guys. I really haven't had a chance to sit down and have a conversation with you or any of the boys in really a few years, I feel like, at this point. So a lot has happened. And I just, first of all, want to say hats off to you and the band for continuing to do what it is you guys do, given the trials and tribulations that the band has gone through. I mean, it's hard to keep a band together for 20 years, regardless of what happens. And you've had some things that nobody would have batted an eyelash if you went, we're going to do something else now. And you haven't. And not only that, the music has been on fire and you guys have strived.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it, it's been an absolute battle
Oh,
every
yeah.
step of the way. And every time you think it's going to get easier, it never seems to. But some of the obstacles we've had to hurdle and get through, like Kyle passing and everything else, it's like the obstacles that we have to deal with nowadays just seem so minuscule. So, I mean, I think it would take quite a bit to tear us apart at this point.
Nobody's throwing a temper tantrum over a single release getting pushed back a week or something, you know?
Oh, that happens, but but it's in the grand scheme of things always just seem to work out, even when things seem like they're about to explode and be absolutely disastrous. It just seems like things tend to work out for us. And I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know if that's just Kyle looking out for us or what it is, but I'll have to try to think of a specific example, but it seems like every time shit's really about to, can I swear?
All right, go ahead. I'll edit it out.
I'm sorry, man.
But no, for the radio part, for the radio show, I'll edit it out. For the podcast, I could fucking care less.
Okay. Yeah, it just seems like every time, things are really about to hit the fan, either they hit the fan and we think the world's going to end and everything's terrible. And then we look back and realize, wow, actually, that actually worked out, that it didn't work out. And now we're in a better position. I don't know. It's weird to say, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
There's some weird philosophy stuff to that, though. The old, uh, if it wasn't hard, it wasn't worth it. Things like that. But it's truly been, like I said, I'm really happy for you guys. I really am. I mean, it hit us all when Kyle died. There's no the picture of me and him still pops up on my Facebook memories once a year, and it's like, oh, dude, you know. But again, at the same token, here you are. Not only are you able to go play shows like Welcome to Rockville, you're having radio success, you're cracking through to other genres, to other places. It really is incredible.
Yeah, it's been super exciting. I'm not going to lie. In the first couple of years after Kyle passed, I questioned whether this band was going to hold on, whether we were going to keep going. And,
As you
I knew, yeah, I mean, I think anyone would. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to still do it. And I think a lot of the guys felt the same. There was just so much like hardship and heartbreak surrounding it. And we knew that we had to at least do an album to follow up, his passing and respond to it in a way and kind of work through all the trauma. And Dark Bloom was that. And it put us on this crazy new path. And we kind of changed our sound and found what worked without Kyle. And the fans just really latched onto it. And it's totally opened this new chapter for the band and fueled the stuff that, we've been working on for the last year and a half. And it's kind of weird to think that we were about to let it go. And now it's, grown into this thing that's bigger than we ever thought it would be. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely thankful for it, but I didn't think we'd still be going, let alone be doing the things that we're doing at this point.
On that album, Dark Bloom, I mean, first of all, to release it, I mean, once that hit the market, once that hit the public space. I imagine that had to feel like a weight off your chest.
Yeah, I mean, God, writing and recording that record was just heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, really hard. But then there was moments that were really beautiful and nice, and us being together and working through a lot of that trauma together. It was it was something we had to do, and it was a really necessary part of the whole grieving process for us. And then, from tragedy like that, a lot of times some great art comes out, and I think that's what that album is. And and Kyle looking out for us, I think somehow sending us some power to make that record. We definitely created something special. It's hands down my favorite record we've ever done.
Wow. I mean, that's big words. With a new one on the way, you're saying that? Come on. What
Oh
kind of rock band are you?
man, the new one's pretty sick. In a different way.
No, I know, I get it.
It's oh man, I'm so excited about the new one though too. So
Well, let me before we jump into new music talk, I do want to ask about Black Hole, and the only reason I want to bring this up is um, because that song went through and got played on radio and satellite and video streams and all the playlists and all that stuff. I mean, it was everywhere for a while. Um, to have not only are you guys able to sort of get through all that darkness, and obviously there was more than just the Kyle passing, but I digress. Not only were you able to kind of get through that, but release an album, but then also have a song that ends up being, I mean, up until this point, really the biggest of your career.
that that song is so insane to me because the record was wrapped. It was done. And we had a writing session booked to do one more with a couple
Hmm.
guys, Zach and KJ. They're awesome. They're great musicians, and they were like, "Yo, let's write a song together." And we were in LA, and we were like, why not? Who cares? Record's done, nothing to lose. Like, let's just see what
Yeah.
happens. We go in and we all start writing together, and this thing starts coming together, and it turned into Black Hole. And it's wild to think that we almost didn't do it. We were like, yeah, the record's done, cool. And then we wrote that song, and we were like, whoa, all right, the record's definitely done now. That's my favorite thing about that song. It almost didn't even exist, and it was a cool thing to learn in that process because we took that with us for the new record. That we kept writing until the very last day because you never know what you're going to come up with. And I'm super glad we did. That song wound up being massive. I think it passed 100 million plays, and I mean,
I actually just
wild.
saw that right before we had this conversation. I was cranking up some We Came as Romans tunes, obviously the new one, Bad Luck, and I looked at on Spotify at the stream count, and I saw that and went, "Whoa!" I didn't even realize that, which is why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean that song's so fun to play, which is
Uh,
cool. I mean, I never get sick of playing that song live. Just the high energy, the crowd sing along moments. I mean, it's a blast. I
There's
love that song.
those are fun parts.
Yeah.
Man. Those are fun parts. So, I mean, you kind of half answered it, but I'm going to ask anyway. What did you then take away from that experience of doing, Dark Bloom and obviously that song and even the songwriting into a process for a new album and especially the song Bad Luck, which we'll talk about in a sec.
I think something we've learned over the last few records and carried through Dark Bloom and into this one is um writing great songs just takes time. And for this new record we actually wrote a ton of songs, like 40 something songs. And we went back to the drawing board and started over so many times, and it's frustrating as an artist. It's terrible, but that's something that we learned through the albums is like it's better to take an extra year and make the album and make it something great than release something that you're not ecstatic about. Because like if we're not ecstatic about it and we created it, the fans are going to see right through it, and the
Yeah.
fans aren't going to be ecstatic about it. It's like our baby, and if we're not ecstatic, how's anyone else going to be? So I mean that's something that we've definitely learned over the years. Just take our time, make it right, start over if you need to. Who cares? And then just get it done when it's done.
Well, it's done, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's or it's close.
Yeah, it's there was I'm not gonna lie, and there was some moments that I wasn't sure if we were gonna ever finish it, but Yeah, we did it
We've always
somehow.
had those moments.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was a few months that were pretty dark. We actually had to step back for a bit because it was almost like we couldn't see the forest through the trees. We had all these songs, and we were so deep into the process that we we couldn't tell what was good anymore, you know? And so we had to step back and reevaluate and reset. And we wound up revisiting some early songs and then writing a couple new ones and scrapping some that we were excited about that we weren't excited about anymore. And you know, the process. And
How do you get through that? Like, do you have somebody, like a producer, obviously, but somebody around, that can kind of help you refocus that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few things we do. We have some friends that are almost like brutally critical of us. And we show a couple of them songs and they'll be honest, they'll be like, this song's boring. Or and it's at the end of the
You're
day, it's our
better than this,
decision.
Dave. Get back in
Yeah.
there.
At the end of the day, it's our decision, but we do throw it around to a few friends that we trust. Our our wives, some of them have some great opinions. And
Oh, yeah.
honestly, our managers, one of our managers is incredibly creative, and we send him a lot of stuff, and his input's always cool to get from an outside perspective. But yeah, it's always kind of a battle because there's songs that make me feel a certain way, and songs that might make Josh feel another way, and it's always a process, and there's a little give and take in there for sure. I tend to enjoy the more heavy, like really aggressive songs. Like Josh, for example, likes more melody and guitar driven, more like rock kind of songs.
Wonder
And
why.
yeah, and Andy just wants to play new metal. And so, I mean, there's definitely some give and take there, but we figure it out.
That makes for an interesting mix, though, when everybody has. It's like y'all love the same thing, but it's a little bit. I like it more over here, and you like it more over here, and you know what I mean. And you can kind of find that middle ground. There's something special sometimes.
Yeah, and that's those kind of things. Yes, it makes it difficult, but if we all like the same exact songs all the time, I don't. We'd sound totally different. I think the diversity and what we all listen to is what makes our sound and makes this band, special.
Absolutely. With Bad Luck, and I saw that you had said that how much this song meant to you guys to put out because it sort of encompasses the feelings or the story or whatever of sort of the entire We Came as Romans history. What do you mean by that?
It
Because that's
just
hard to do
seems,
in a 3 minute song, man.
yeah, song says quite a bit, and it's one of the longest songs we've wrote in a long time. Um, but there was just so much we wanted to say in it. It seems like when you
Okay,
start a
sorry. four
band,
minute and 5 second song. My bad.
yeah, I mean that's long for us. I feel like usually our songs are like 2:45, 3,
Right? Yeah.
3:15. That's pretty long. And it's it just seems like when we started the band, we were like, hey, we got to tough it out now, and as we get bigger, things will get easier. And it's just not the case. There's a lot of things we've been through that we've had to fight through, and as tough as a lot of them are, I really wouldn't trade them because those scars and those difficult times we've been through have helped make us who we are and kept us around. Like like you said, it's like we've been through so many difficult things together. I don't think there's anything that could really tear us apart at this time. So, um, I wouldn't trade a lot of our experiences for anything.
I know I get accused on this show of liking everything, but I do generally find the good in pretty much everything I hear. But this song's fantastic, man. It's a really good song.
Thanks, man. It's funny because there's songs that you got to battle to finish, and they're just tricky. You get stuck here and there. You don't know how to end it. You don't know where it should go, or if you're you know getting off track on the topic at some point. But this song just came together so easily. There's a few renditions of it for sure, but that's normal. But it came together nicely and easily, and we were all stoked on it, and pretty much sent it off to print.
There you go. Let's talk about the thing we all love, and that's live music. Obviously, giant festivals like Rockville, Incarceration's coming up. Um, we were specifically the We Were Young festival, and also the return of Warp Tour or the anniversary of Warp Tour. to play those shows. Because like, I mean, Warp Tour was, we all did Warp. I mean, like I'm a kid. I'm a punk rock kid of the '90s. Like Warp Tour is what we did, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and then in through my 20s and seeing what ended up becoming like seeing Avenged Sevenfold at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with 300 kids on a side stage and they're all wearing black and black makeup. It's like who is this band? And now they're one of my favorites to the point where I have the bat on my arm tattooed. But um, that was the beauty of Warp Tour. What does it mean for you guys to come back and play?
yeah, man. On that note,
The
just
the
like,
the 25th anniversary, right? Yeah,
yeah,
of
it's crazy.
this amazing tour that goes down the
Yeah, I
wall.
mean, there's not many places you could just show up somewhere at 11 a.m. and start a circle pit, you know? It's what I mean, what an insane place. Looking back on it, I mean, it just seems crazier and crazier to me as I get older and think about the memories I had going with my friends in high school. And,
Oh
I
yeah.
was front row for story of the year, just getting pummeled by crowd surfers and getting in mosh pits and just getting beat up. I mean, but wouldn't trade it for the world. Getting
Well, dude, like
sunburned
I
and
remember that year, that specific year that I found Avenged Sevenfold. It's like here's this heavy ass, at the time, real goth, sounding band. And then I went and watched Less Than Jake, and Bad Religion was one of the headliners. Um, yeah, there, I think Good Charlotte played. Like it was just this wild,
yeah.
weird, eclectic mix. That's what I loved about it.
What I mean, as I got, once I started my band and we did Warp Tour, I thought one of the coolest things about it is from a musician standpoint, we got to tour with a lot of bands we wouldn't normally tour with and make friends that we wouldn't have probably made had Warp Tour not existed. I mean, do you remember the band Every Avenue?
Vaguely, I can see the name, but I can't picture them.
They were like they were doing pretty well. They were like a pop punk band. They still do some stuff. And yeah, those guys, I mean, they wound up being like a brother band with us on
Wow.
Warp Tour the one year. And that's not a tour that would have ever happened, us and them together,
Right.
if it had it not been for Warp Tour. Um, Things like that I thought were really cool. And you have so much time to spend with these people. By the end of the summer, you really get to know other bands and crew guys and random workers of the tour that were there, the techs and stuff, and the guys building the rigs. And by the end of the tour, it was literally everyone always says it. It's like summer camp. The end of the last day, it's kind of sad. Everyone's saying bye and big hugs, and I mean, it was a really cool thing to be a part of, and it's totally different now, but still glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, it is different, but it's still, to be able to be there and kind of celebrate the history and legacy of that year.
Exactly, exactly. It still feels really cool, and I'm glad they're bringing it back. And I knew when they were going to come back, I'm like, it's never going to be the same, but still very cool.
No, no, it can't be. When we were young fest, and the reason I brought that up is because that too seems like another. There's 100 bands on this thing. Um,
Yeah.
it's wild, like to play something like that.
I remember when they first announced it, I was like, there's no way this is real. And I
We
reached
all
out
thought
to,
the same
I'm
thing. Like I'm getting
like,
press
there's no
releases
way.
going, no.
I'm like, there's no way. And I reached out to, some people on our team and other people I know. I'm like, is this legit? They were like, yeah. And my wife and I were like, well, let's get tickets. So we bought tickets and flew out, and we were there the first year. It was super fun. Minus all the issues they had with the weather and everything else, but still, it was a blast. And now to be um, actually playing it, I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, I imagine. I think I thought Firefest when I first saw it. I really did.
Dude, me
I'm like,
too.
there's no way. And then they pulled it off. I mean, obviously, again, you said the weather, but they pulled it off. And now we're on what, year three?
Yeah, I mean, I give that festival props too. I didn't go last year, but the year I went, it was like it it was like the most bougie rock festival I've ever seen. I mean, it was cool. They had like turf down, and all the beer tents were really nice, and it was a hell of an experience. I was pretty blown away by how cool it was.
That's amazing. Talk to me about the tour in between. I mean, you guys are out doing some headline dates with friends.
Yes, yes. I'm so excited about this tour. It's been in the making for a long time, and um, we had to postpone it because we were still finishing the record. Um, And like I said, we were just like, let's take our time. Who cares? And yeah, we wound up postponing it, and finally we get to do it, and very ecstatic about it. We're playing some big boy rooms on it, which is cool. Some rooms we've never played, and definitely, a little more nervous about it than a normal tour.
Cutter's
A lot of pressure,
Rockcast.
but
Don't forget to tune in. Exactly.
Yeah, to graduate sort of to the few thousand seat places to headline. Yeah,
I know, especially in Detroit, we always tend to play St. Andrews Hall or the Crowfoot, and now to be playing the Fillmore, I'm like, dang, we like graduated. We're we're doing a few big boy rooms, and yeah, I'm stoked, and it's cool. I mean, just bigger stages, more production. We're bringing out more crew, and it's going to be the bigger rooms allow us to have an elevated production too.
I'm actually going to Detroit. My father-in-law lives there, so we're going to
Nice,
Detroit um July for his birthday. So I'm stoked. It'll be the first time
nice.
I've been like in the airport, and I've been south of it on a highway, but that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I love where we live. It's a great city. People are like Detroit's terrible. It's really sketchy. You're getting
Yeah,
murdered. I'm
man,
like,
right?
yeah, yeah, don't go there, please. Like it's like this well-kept secret right now, and we love it. It's the cost of living's low, and there's some amazing restaurants and bars and really artistic things going on. It's an awesome place to live. Whenever people talk bad about it, I'm like, oh yeah, stay away.
What's the band scene like? Because obviously you guys and I prevail, the two you can think of on the top of your heads, from the metalcore world. But what is the scene like? It's got to be pretty
It
deep.
seems like, yeah, I mean, we practice at this spot, and there's like 30 different rooms there, and they're always all full of people practicing, jamming, playing. It's music, Motown. There's always people playing music and getting artistic, whether it's with food or music or visual art.
Yeah.
It's an inspiring place.
Okay. All the festivals, the tour, dude, good luck on all that stuff. Bad Luck is out now. We don't have a release date or name for the album. Um,
Not yet.
we don't. You probably do, but we don't.
It's up in
Um,
my head.
I look forward to hearing more, man, truly.
Thank you, man. I thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, anytime. Go catch your flight.
Thank you, brother. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Cutter's Rockcast.
Don't forget to tune in. Exactly.